Greetings, Diesel Funketeers. Tim Fielder, Diesel Funk Dispatch, 5:26 Eastern Standard Time. So you might be asking, hey, what took them so long? We're going to try one more time, I think. I'm not sure. I think TikTok is live. I just spent the last 45 minutes trying to troubleshoot it through Streamlabs. We will see. I should be logged in. It looks like everything's streaming. I haven't gotten any errors. Let's go here. Webcam. Okay, we're going to go back to Cintiq. We will see what's happening. Let's go to my desktop here. Alrighty. I am Tim Fielder, visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. I'm going to go over to TikTok here. And I'm going to see what's going on my profile. And we're going to see if we're going live. Yes! Oh my God! I think we're live on TikTok. I'm not sure. And right now, it's the horizontal screen. It's not the vertical thing. But you know what? You know what? We're going to live with what we got. We're going to live with what we got. So, again, we are live on TikTok. Hold on, let me change this. Let's see what happens when we go here. What happens then? Let's see, if I click here and I scroll there, let's see what happens. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Yes, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, on TikTok. I'm going to type, hey, everybody. Everybody. It took months, but we are finally live. Oh, not lice, live on TikTok. Holy smokes, look at that. All right, this is great, guys. It took me a long time to get to this point. I have one viewer. So now here's what I've got to do. Because I've done it this way, what that means is I've got to Bentley user 600. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Tim Fielder. After weeks of trying and failing, I am now finally live on TikTok. This is great. My name is Tim Fielder. I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. I am going to draw for you guys. I'm an Afrofuturist. I'm known for this book here. Let's see if we can hold that up there. Infinitum, an Afrofuturist tale. Hi. I'm also known for this book here. Maddie's Rocket. All right. And then this book here, which came out last year. The Graphic History of Hip Hop, done with my writing partner, Dr. Walter David Grayson. Hello, Deanne. How you doing? So yeah, it looks like wow. It looks like maybe we're alive here. Who knew? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Now, one of the things I need to do is I need to shift this over here on this slot so that I can see and monitor the chat. Okay, yeah, boy, let me tell you, TikTok was kicking my butt. We do have drop frames, but you know what? I'm not gonna worry about that. All right, wow, this has been a monster trying to get live on this thing. All right, so let's check here very quickly. Oh, we got to reload that. Okay, Twitch, we are live. We are live on Twitch. We're live on Twitch. Hello, Twitchers. How you guys doing? We're live on YouTube. Yes. We are live. Slipping and slide, live. We're live on both YouTube channels. We are live on Instagram. This is awesome. We're going to leave that up there because Instagram, I get a lot of interaction on Instagram. Argentina Faye, how you doing? What's happening? Good to see you there. All right, let me move this over here. Okay. Creators must be, I'm definitely much older than 18. What are you going to do? All right, so let's see here. What else we got? Let's see. I have 2 new likes. Thank you, guys. Just to let you guys know, and I will go to my desktop here so you can see what's happening. I am known as a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. My desktop here is for my company, Diesel Funk Studios, which is dopey dope. Hello, Charles. Hello, Busy 2391. By the way, if I'm mispronouncing your name, it's not that I can't read, it's that I can't see because I lost my reading glasses. That's not true. I set on my reading glasses a while ago, and I have not replaced them yet. But it's coming. Like this microphone here, like TikTok, we are now live. So we're live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Facebook, LinkedIn, Substack, TikTok. Is there anything I'm missing? We have multiple Facebook channels. All right, good. This is great. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Hello, James Hogger. How you doing? Let's see. We're going to go here now. So this is the type of stuff I do. Now, one of the things I will show you that I've been working on beyond the graphic novels I have here, I have started on a project. Hello, Lolies. How you doing, Lolies? Jonathan Ram 23. How you doing? Larry Johnson. What's up, Larry Johnson? How you doing? Nat, how's it going? Hollywood. Okay, no online viewers yet. Okay, we're not going to worry about that for now, but that's what's happening. Thank you guys so much. All right. Now, one of the things I'm going to show you guys that I do, and we're going to do this through TikTok because we can here. Let's go right here. We're going to move this down here. Yes. So I do a web comic. Not a web comic. I do a social media comic that I call a comatic. And this comatic it's a comatic. Here it is. Hey, Davian. Pleasure, Davian. Carrie Ann, how you doing? So this is the thing that I do. I do what's called a chromatic. What is a chromatic? I'm going to pause this here. A chromatic is, and by doing this, I will actually show you guys what a chromatic is through here. Let's go to our first here. We'll scroll all, we'll actually go to our archives here because it's the best way to do it. All right, a chromatic. If you look here, so a animatic is the middle ground or hybrid between a storyboard and animation. That's what a animatic is, a storyboard and animation. So it's basically a storyboard that's set up sequentially. It takes place over time. It has music, it has sound, it has all those type of things. And that's cool. A motion comic is, hello Montana, how you doing there? Good to see you. A motion comic is where you take, it's the middle ground or hybrid between a comic and a comic and a animation. A chromatic is a hybrid between an animatic and comics. So that's what I do. So I've created, as best I can, elements with comics and things like that. Now, I'm also an Afrofuturist. So for those folks who may be uncomfortable, I get it. I deal with the intersection of science fiction, fantasy, black culture, and I fuse those things together, right? Meaning that there might be some people who will be uncomfortable. And that's okay. I don't mind that. My stuff is not for everybody. But I do dope stories with dope visuals, and I have fun doing it. But this live session, the way I work here, is I show how the sausage is made. I show how I do the comic. I show everything underneath. I show how the drawings. Also, another important thing I want for those folks who don't know. Hello, Heem. How you doing? For those folks who don't know, I am a digital artist. Now, let me explain to you what that means. I'm 59 years old. I'm old. Yep, see, no hair, but it's all gray, right? It's getting gray. It's getting, now the eyebrows are getting gray, but that's another story. So, I draw and used to draw on paper, and I would use oil or acrylics and pen and ink and markers. I especially was very good at the markers. But times changed, and in the late 90s, I went completely digital. And then when I went completely digital, that means that I was drawing in Photoshop. I was drawing in, at the time, which was called Corel or Meta Creations Painter. So I did digital illustration. I moved completely over to that. But then I started working in the video game industry. I worked for Ubisoft Entertainment. Oh my God, that job drove me almost half insane. But I learned a lot there. And so I began to integrate 3D elements into my work. And for a long time, I did that. Over the last 5 years, advancements in game engine technology has really come along. So I'm able to take that work. So instead of drawing something, I'll build it in the computer. So now what's happened is that we have AI has arrived. And generative AI has also been a thing that I've deployed into my toolkit, right? Do I want AI to do all the work for me? Hell no. Why would I want that? I want the work to look like my work. But what it will do is it will enhance and it will augment my already existing drawings. And that's what I do. I agree. It's not for everybody, but that's okay if it's not. This is what I do. Again, I'm showing you guys how I draw and how I create my stories. All right, enough of that. So let's get here now. We're going to go here. I'm live drawings. This is live drawing with Tim Fielder. 10 October 30th, 2025. We do have Halloween tomorrow, so I might be streaming for just a short period of time because apparently I'm supposed to be watching The Door tomorrow. My wife, Melanie Maria Goudreau, is a playwright, and I have to watch The Door where they're doing their Halloween stuff. Hey, I'm her husband. What are you going to do? All right, now, let's go through here. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to go to Clip Studio Paint. This is an image I did yesterday. This image was actually a highlighted image. That's what's interesting about this, meaning that it was one thing at one point. Let's take this off here. I need to take that off. Hello, Yatasha Womack. How you doing? Guess what? We're live on TikTok. It's a miracle. It is a freaking miracle because I never thought I would do it. Okay, I'm setting up my screens so I can monitor my chats here. Looks like the vertical storytelling is going well, so I'm happy with that. Need to move this here over. There we go. And now we're going to move. Can we move this over here? Let's see what's happening. Nope. I think we've taken that as far as we can go. Not a problem. We're going to go here. We can see. Hello, Marion Breed. How you doing? Again, and of course, our live chat with YouTube does seem to be, let's refresh that. Okay. Nope. We are not good here. We're going to go back to our Diesel Funk page here, and we're going to pop right off in here. Wrong one. Boom. Now, you guys might see me. I have a iPad here. I have my main screen here. I have my secondary screen where I can monitor my stream and all that here with multiple panels. Hello, Cody Todd 2037. How you doing? And then I have my drawing screen here. This is the big one, the 32-inch. So I can scroll in and do what I got to do on this. All right, let's get to some drawing here. All right, so we're going to start here. And I think what I feel like doing, actually, believe it or not, I think we want to just warm up a little bit. That's what we're going to do. We're going to warm up a little bit. We're taking our image here. Let's see here. We're going to go to a widescreen drawing here. This will be good. This will be fun. And one of the things I had done before, I do what's called a Diesel Funk dispatch. And when I'm doing a Diesel Funk dispatch, because my company is Diesel Funk Studios, one of the things that I do is I do portraiture, and I do a weekly thing. I haven't done it in about 2 weeks now because Hi John Conqueror launched last week, and now we're in a new week. A new episode just went up. Also, let me show you guys this stuff so you will see it. Let's go here. Yes, here is Hi John Conqueror, the YouTube channel here. Has all the episodes here in order. And we have episode 1 through 7. I tried to release anywhere from 3 to 5 days weekly. Everything is ordered here. You can go here. This is the playlist. I will post this into, let's go here, copy. I'm going to paste this here. Hello, Laurie. How you doing? I'm going to go here. There we go. So if you guys want to see that, feel more than free to do that there. So I'm just copy pasting the thingy here. Whoops. Oh, hold on. One thing I forgot to do. I'm not going live on Facebook. Let's fix that. All right, now we should be live in just a moment here. Sorry about that, Facebook people. What do you want? I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm multitasking here. Multitasking badly, but multitasking nevertheless. All right, so we're here. We're going to refresh this here. We should be live. Yes, and now we are live. We're connecting live on Facebook. Good. All right, so we have our Instagram chat here going. We have Facebook Live going. I feel good about that. So again, this is Hi John Conqueror. And let me just tell you what it says here. It says take a Western. Right, you know Westerns, Unforgiven, you know, all those type of things. Lone Ranger, Jules Verne, author of 2000 Leagues Under the Sea, Star Wars, and Glory. Mix them together, and you've got Hi John Conqueror. The story: sweeping romance, high adventure, and retro Afrofuturism. A crazed mashup of Zora Neale Hurston, Black feminist writer. H.P. Lovecraft, crazed creator of I guess Gothic fantasy and horror. Robert E. Howard, creator of Conan the Barbarian. Edgar Rice Burroughs, creator of Tarzan. And John Carter, warlord of Mars. And Martin R. Delaney, the writer and real life person who wrote a book called Blake about revolutions during the Civil War. Actually, pre-Civil War. It's pretty interesting stuff. Again, I told you guys the format, it's a Comatic. I tell you what a Comatic is. The schedule, releasing 3 to 5 days weekly, 1 panel per day, showing the drawing and narrative process. I use technology to generate my music. I do my own drawings. I use a little bit of generative AI to assist in coloring my work. I have a lot of fun with it. I use Adobe Photoshop extensively. I use Clip Studio Paint extensively. Let's get to that now. So we're going to start here. One of the things I'm going to do here, because I was talking with one of my buddies, who is actually, I might actually be on here looking now. And one of the things I do is I have some images that I want to create. So for example, I want to create bipedal creatures that are based on the African savanna. I think that would be fascinating to see. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go here, and I want to select some reference. Wait, who is this here? Oh my goodness. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Okay. So we're going to minimize that because we don't need that open right now. The Momante. Okay, we're good. How you guys doing? All right, so we're going good here. I think we are moving and grooving. Very happy with that. Let's take a look here again. She means business. How you doing? Laurie, how you doing? Good to hear and see. Well, I'm not hearing you, but good to see you. Thank you for showing up. It's my first time. My name is Tim Fielder. I'm a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. And I do a book called Maddie's Rocket, another one called Infinitum, an Afrofuturist Tale, and the graphic history of hip-hop, along with my writing partner, Dr. Walter David Grayson. We're going to go here, Facebook. Now, I just want to go here because I need to copy this. I need to copy this. I need to copy the clip, and I need to paste it to my other Facebook page. So let's go here. All right, we're going to go share. I'm going to go copy link. I'm going to go here to Tim Fielder. All right, here we go. Boony bam, boony bam, 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 boom. We're going to go right here. We're going to do copy, paste. Yes, I am streaming probably, I would say now, to quite a few different channels. I'm streaming to so many different outlets. It's kind of ridiculous at this point, which I don't mind. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Let's see here. Black Comics Entertainment. What is this? This is new visitors. That's okay. I don't mind that. All righty, let's go here. All right. So we're going to go back now. I just wanted to check out and see what's happening with my comments section here. Okay, we're rocking. We're rolling. Let's refresh this here. We're going to leave that page there. Okay, this is dope. I love live streaming. Live streaming is so much fun. Why? Because people can see you rock. Hello, Freddie 9 something or the other. How you doing? Anyway, let's get here. All right, now we're going to warm up. But I'm going to warm up with my brush here. It probably is good if I do that with a black brush. There we go. So I'm just warming up here, making sure everything is good. On the backspace here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm now going to do a little concept design where I am actively taking images from the African savanna, and I'm going to turn those creatures that are 4-leg creatures, I'm going to turn them into 2-leg creatures. So let's go here. What we're going to do here is we're going to go here to Safari. Again, Hi Giant Conqueror is the new project that I'm doing, that I'm adding. And 3 to 5 days a week, I'll be releasing a 1-minute short, and I'm having fun with it. It's released on YouTube, 2 YouTube channels, TikTok. I can't believe I'm saying TikTok finally. Instagram, LinkedIn. What else is this of? Kick, Twitch. It's a lot of multiple YouTube channels. So it's a lot of stuff that I'm doing here, and we're okay with that. All right. So let's click here. Now I could use Chat GPT to search this, but what I want to do here, I'm going to do African savanna wildlife. Now what I'm about to do now is I'm about to search for images that will provide inspiration for me as a jumping off point. So you have artists, all visual artists that are really, really great, who draw at least representation and that's kind of realistic drawing style. What they do is they use reference, and that reference, they pull that reference from photos, whatever. Some of them trace, some of them just use and follow by eye. Some of them, actually take the photo and they just do a paint over. Either way is fine with me. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to make sure I can get my work done. All right, so we're going to go here to images. Look at that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at that. 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 Isn't that interesting there? Now, I wonder if I could draw a... I wonder if I could draw a zebra humanoid. Wouldn't that be cool? To get a kind of a zebra humanoid? That might be kind of dope. Let's see what we can do here. All right, so we're going to go here. We got our zebra here. We're going to, let's see, let's go right here. And I like this here. What I'm going to do, we're going to go back here. We're going to go here. And now what we're going to do, we don't want that. We want to minimize this for now because we don't need that open. What we're going to do is drag and drop that right there. So we now have this zebra here that we can use as our visual reference. Now, what I like about these zebras here is that it's kind of fascinating. They have a snout because it's a horse, right? It's a horse. But look at the hair and how that hair kind of stems. So what we want to do here, we can take an illustration here. And you know what? I kind of like this. I don't think this needs to be horizontal. I think we need to do something that's vertical. So I'm going to go to a new file here. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this. Okay. And by the way, let me know what you think. Okay, so we have this here. We have our zebra. We're going to close that one. We don't need that one open right now. Do not save. We're going to go to our zebra here. And watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to have that zebra right there. Whoops. That zebra kind of got away from me here. Hang on. We can fix that. We can fix that. Where are you, zebra? All right, let's go to Window, Workspace. All right. We may have lost the zebra for a second there, but that's okay. We'll find him again. We will find the damn zebra, man. There he is. Right there. So we'll leave that. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Right there. Doggone it. So weird. Whoops. Don't want to do that. So that's the zebra there. Pop this open here. All right, we're going to go back to our brush here. All right, now, what I want to do, so we're going to give it a cranium, like so, right? And we don't want that snout to stick out too much. We want it kind of like that. Yep, like so. So what I'm doing here is I'm literally drawing out kind of like the skull structure. There we go. Ah, look at that. Ah, look at that. So I'm sketching this out now. All right, now let's take a look at this zebra's eyes here. His eyes are a little bit slanty, like so. So what we want here is this. I want all black eyeballs there. Okay, we want that brow to be a little bit more pronounced. All right, I'm going to take this eraser here. Now, here's where it's going to get a little tricky. So we can go here. I want that mouth just to be up a little bit, like so. Just a, not quite a pronounced snout, but like that, right? All right, now we will take this. And we want the kind of cartoony teeth. We don't, because we do want, the objective with this is to have a sort of, how would I call it? We want to have a sort of, hello, that dude, Jeff, 838. How you doing? Let's see. So we're going to have it like this. There we go. There we go. All right, now we're going to go on the bottom here. So in certain ways, he looks like an 8, but that's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Go here. We go on the side here. And here I'm going to put kind of regalia here. Yep, there we go. Yep. So the way I'm imagining these creatures operate is they are actually bipedal, but what they do, although they are bipedal, they tend to, they're still somewhat primitive. Still somewhat primitive. That's the objective with this, right? Alrighty. Gonna go here. Now again, this is sketched out. Let me move this over here just a little bit. Like so. Now, we're going to say their shoulders sort of slump. Like so. I'm going to reduce this down here in size so I can get a little bit more. And notice here I can squash and stretch this, and I don't want to stretch it too much. Right there is kind of good. I like that. And again, I want these creatures, because they're on a different planet, again, to largely be inspired by life forms from the African savanna. That's the objective. Go here, muscles, pretty pronounced. I also want them, because I'm an Afrofuturist, I want them to have somewhat of a sort of a Maasai warrior type feel to them, similar to what Cameron does in Avatar. It's a heavy influenced by Maasai warriors, and I think that's pretty cool here. So we'll do this. Yep, we do that, and then we have the see. So because when we keep it like this kind of form, what that does is it sort of makes, I want things to remain familiar. That's the objective. So we can go here, kind of pronounce, kind of WB kind of feeling. That's sort of what I want. I'll just go here on this side here. All right, so now we'll take this down there. There we go. All right, now that's not bad, but let's reduce this down a little bit more here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to be able to fit a little bit more of his body in there. Right? Not bad. Now, so again, that's the idea. I want something that's going to be a hybrid. Hello, Pharrell. How you doing? Hi, G. How you guys doing? My name is Tim Fielder, a visual Afrofuturist and graphic novelist. Doing my thing here. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're good there. I'll just put a little stuff here because again, I want this creature to be ornate. Right? some of these creatures that I'm going to design will have they will have they will be, some will be clothed, some will be, you know, a bit nude, and I do that when I'm trying to showcase that some of them are more primitive than others, or more developed technologically. But we're going to give this guy here 3 hands, 3 fingers. All right, I like that. But we're going to give him really incredibly wide waist. Yeah, like a thin waist, but incredibly wide waist. Yeah, that should be interesting. And we'll give him hooves on this bottom leg. Again, it's very much pulling from traditional character design. I don't mind doing that so much. All right. I kind of like that. Let's go Command T here just to lean that over just a little bit. We're going to go up here a little bit more. Now, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, see, I'm getting my hand there. Let's go like that. Watch this, guys. All right, so we're going to pop this here, and we're going to bring that. So that's 1, 2, 3, because he has 3 digits. All right, there we go. Yep. Fantastic. All right. Now I'm going to erase here just a little bit. I still want that thin waist. I think that thin waist works, but we want to just take it like this. Now, High John Conqueror is, and to a certain extent, heavily influenced by Flash Gordon. And one of the things that you saw a lot in Flash Gordon is that Flash Gordon, along with Zarkov, the scientist, and his woman, Dale Arden, what they would do is they would have a sort of hold on, let me see what's happening here. Is TikTok still going here? Let me just check here for a little. Yes, we appear to still be going. This is good. All right, we're still going. All right, TikTok, we're still going. Hey, TikTokers. All right. So we have 2 viewers now. That's good. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this. Now, so I like my shape here I got. I like that shape. That's pretty good there. We want pretty muscular tones here. We'll make that leg here. So that kind of pops up, because these guys can run really, really fast. They're not as fast as some of the other creatures are, but you know, these guys here, they're great long distance runners. So we're going to go here. Yep. All righty, that's interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, let's go back here. Let's see if we can pull this together here. We're going to click right there. And we're going to move that over here. Yep. And now what we want to try to do is move this back into here. Right there. Great. And I want to pull that off separately. We're going to have this guy here. And I'm going to move this over. You'll see what I'm going to do in just a moment. So I want both of those images visible at the same time, right? So let's bring this down here. So let's take a look here. So this is pretty good. I kind of like that, but looking here, I think this is kind of interesting there. So what we're talking about here, see, if we bring that, so basically what's happening is this is like this here. Not bad. Then that goes like that. So that's what these creatures here are doing. That's sort of how there set up there. I like that. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pick my lasso tool here. I'm going to do that because I'm going to copy paste this. Command C, Command V. And what I just did there was just hit that. So now I can go here back to this one and I can delete this. Okay, we're good there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth this out just a little bit. Now, I kind of like the ears on this guy here. That's kind of cool. So we're going to take the ears here. Let's just erase a little bit of this. This will be interesting. Let's see if this works. And part of what I do in a former life, I was a concept designer. So I taught people concept design. Hello, Andrew, Amber, Tukey, and Linda C. Veda. How you doing? Good to see you guys. So we're going to go here. So I want to make sure I did not totally butcher your names. Go here. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, this is good. This is good. All right, I kind of like that. Now, this is there, and I'm okay with this looking like that because ultimately what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to kind of draw this out anyway. So we're going to go here. We're going to go here, right? We're going to take here, you got veins here. Yep. So you see how I'm adding this definition? So that's the beauty. And for those folks who, you know, I believe that everyone has the ability to draw, right? And people say, well, you know, you might be able to draw a certain way or you might not. It kind of doesn't matter anymore. Because the way you draw, that is simply your style. Hello, Tiangayan. I believe that's pronounced. User 478138046. Well, that's a long username there. Okay. Again, I'm Tim Fielder. It's my first time on TikTok. I'm live on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, I have 2 Instagram windows open. Okay. All right. So we're going to have to switch one of these here because this is quite a bit open here. I think I'll leave that one open here. And what I'll do is I'll take my Instagram window and I'll put it back. I'll put it back here. See, will that fit? Let's see if that'll fit. Well, we'll leave it open for right now. Okay, whatever. So, okay, what's happening here? Are we still? You will watch the next live in 6 seconds. Okay, what happened there? I don't get what happened there. I hope that didn't go live. Okay, we're back here. We're back live. Okay. I think we're okay. Let's see here. We should still be live. We do have drop frames on TikTok, but that's okay. Let's refresh the screen here and see if we can. Oh, all righty. Yep, that is what happened there. It looks like we got bumped off of TikTok today, but that's okay. Oh, that's my wife there. That is my wife. Yeah, she's an astrologer.
Toe just moved in Aquarius. Sun is in Scorpio. Everyone get ready for any unexpected changes that may come up because Aquarius offers us surprises sometimes. You got to be able to pivot. And when things come up after you've been as prepared as you can be, you have to kind of handle these unexpected changes with grace. And so I would say, please, in your back pocket, have breathing exercises at the ready. Things that can help you to ground yourself. Songs that you've chosen that you can listen to when things come up that you weren't expecting. Have ways to ground yourself. Be prepared in that way. I'll at you soon.
Ha.
Hi, everyone.
All right, so we're going to go back here. All right, we're back on our live again. So we're live Okay, it looks like we're back to live again, so that's okay. I'm going to move that back over here. Now, let's get back to some drawing here. So I'm pretty good with this. I like the way this looks here. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Let's see here. Even here, I think the eye here is maybe flushed a little bit too closely because I want to follow this. There we go. Yep. Like so. All right. So we want to take our nose here. See what's happening? There we go. Now, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through this here. I'm going to very quickly tone this. I'm going to smooth out these layers. There we go. Yep. There we go. You want to create compelling character designs still from nature. Why? The objective is, unless you're trying to do something that deviates completely from nature, what you're trying to do is create something that is both alien and familiar. And you do that by taking inspiration from nature. And it works pretty well. Really does. All right, so we're good here. All right, I like that. Now, I'm just going to give it a kind of a wash here because this is going to be a creature. There we go. There we go right there. Yep. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for something that conveys a certain vibe. That's what I'm doing here. Go here. Yep. Right there. Pop this in here. There we go. Yep. Mm-hmm. All righty. So you see what I'm doing? I'm adding tones in this. And then we're going to go in and enhance a few things. All right? Just like that. That looks pretty good there. I like the idea that I can, if I want to, just add a little bit heavier shade here. There we go. All right. And we're going to get the stripes and stuff. We'll get that because, of course, you can't. You know, it doesn't work if you have a kind of a zebra influence creature with no stripes on them. But we'll get that stuff done pretty soon. There we go. All right, let's take this here. I was just talking with my son yesterday. He started reading Octavia Butler's Dawn, and he was it was funny. He was saying how he felt like it contained everything that he found offensive and compelling. And I said, yeah, Octavia Butler was like that. Now I had the privilege of actually having talked with Octavia Butler a handful of times way back in the day, and she was a bit of a, how could I say, she was ahead of her time for sure. So I get what my son is expressing there. All righty, there we go. That's pretty good. I like that. Now, I'm going to duplicate this layer here because what I want to do is I want to smooth this out. And I'm going to take a blend tool here. Oops. Yep, it's the right one. That's blur. Let's blend this. Let's take this here. So what I'm doing now is I'm literally blending these things together. Right? Making the sharp lines less pronounced where I want them to be less pronounced, and more pronounced where I need them to be. Right? Okay. Yes. Yes. Now, because this guy's kind of brolic because that this is the way. And by the way, you all see that line? How weird that line is? That's because there is a dead scan line on my tablet, and that's okay. I don't mind that. And go here, boom. There we go. There we go. Yep. So now we're just toning these things in. Now you'll notice here as I'm doing this, and I'm softening the edges, but keeping certain hard lines. That's where you'll see that arm there is really looking much more well defined. And that's okay. I don't mind that. That's kind of what I want. Alrighty. Go back to brush here because we have a collarbone here happening. Collarbone thing happening. There we go. Alright. And secure our blending tool. There we go. Now, I'm going to smooth it up here so that these lines here are not as heavy. Again, I'm taking inspiration from the zebra here. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. It is now 6:17, which is not bad. All righty. Look at that. So that is, so you get the kind of definition in the musculature. Not bad. Not bad. Go here, bring that down there. And I might hit this with a warp tool here just to bring things a little parity on the shapes. There we go. All right, bring this here. Yep. All right, we're going to erase off in here a little bit. And we'll erase off in here. Yep. Okay, so I think I'm feeling pretty good about this. Is it perfect? No, I don't need perfect. I just need something that conveys the spirit of what I'm going for. Now, I notice here that's not as much of a brow, so I'm going to erase here. There we go. So you're going to do it like that. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Look at that. Look at that. All right, now I'm going to take my brush here. Yes, that is interesting. Look at that. Look at that, guys. All righty. Like this. All right, now I'm going to take a brush here to get a little bit of deeper shadows. See? Yep. Yep, I like that. Okay. Let me take just a little bit of this. All right, now we're going to smudge right off in here a little bit to have that not be as pronounced, because I don't think we want it to be that pronounced. But we need it to be a pronounced enough. Okay. So we have this going. That's pretty good. Let's take our brush again here. We're going to do a little hand shadowing here. And again, I don't need the stuff to be perfect. I just need it to have a kind of a spirit. It's what I'm looking for. There we go. See? There we go. We can do this here. We'll pop this up here. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. Yep. All right, I like that. That is not bad. Now, I could leave him I could leave him as just kind of nude like that. But what we'll do is we'll just color him straight, and then I'll determine whether or not I want to do something else a little bit later on. But for right now, let's do this. And again, all of this is for the project I'm working on called High John Conqueror, which is a blend of kind of African folk tales and myths and science fiction mixed with American pulp fiction and action adventure newspaper strips like Flash Gordon. And I just want to play around with the forms and have some fun with it. That's the objective. Okay, bring that in there. All right, now I think we're good here. So I'm going to take this, and the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to take a harder pen here. Now, let's see if we can pull this off. I'm going to go here, I'm going to create a new layer. And what I'm going to do here is this. All right, you see what's happening? I'm literally drawing the stripes on this guy. Yep, there we go. I'm liking that. All right, we're going to take this here. And keep in mind, this is all on a separate layer. Right? And take this here. I'm starting to realize how much Darth Maul from Star Wars kind of had that heavily influenced kind of zebra stripe thingy happening. There we go. Yep. See that? Wow, look at that. That's pretty freaking interesting there. The camouflage on zebras are quite fascinating. But one of the reasons why they're fascinating because they follow the musculature of the actual zebra itself. All right, see what's happening there? That's pretty cool. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to bring these around here. All right. Yep. Oh man, I like that. I like that already. We're going to put this line down the middle here. And then, well, we don't want that to be, we want that to be somewhat sharp. And this is going to be pretty interesting because I'm realizing now that some of this stuff is really quite pronounced on a zebra here. Alrighty. There we go. Okay, we're going to take this here. We're kind of following around. See, as I'm using this for inspiration. Yep, that's not bad. All right, now we're going to take that right there. Not bad. All right, now we're going to take this bottom part here. This here, just because I want to, I'm going to add a slight beard. Let's say when I draw the female species of this race, there will be more kind of tufts of hair around, whereas when the female won't have that. All right, now here's where it's going to get interesting. All right, so but we want that to be much bigger. There we go. Oops. Well, we can just go here and erase the parts that we don't want. Alrighty. Yep, that's pretty good. So I'm going to erase some of this stuff here a bit. All right, now we want the shoulders here, and the shoulders should be like that. Yep. All right. I'm going to this part here. There we go. Right, so we want that kind of symmetry that's happening. There we go. I'm going to erase here a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now we'll take this sharp part here, and we're going to go right on the shoulders right there. Yep. Now, that is looking kind of cool there. Now, we're going to here, we're going to kind of take inspiration from right in that leg there. I'm going to do it just like this. Let's move that up. And we'll do the same thing here. Okay. Just got a message here. Don't know exactly what the message is from, but that's okay. Alrighty. Alright. William Satterwhite, great comic book writer, is just sent a group message, so that's pretty good for him. Alright, we're going here. All right, so it looks like, let's just check that we're live on Instagram, which is great. We are live on Facebook, Kick, We Are Straight, First, both YouTubes, we're good. Okay, great. Kick, we are good. Facebook, I think we're live here. Yep, we are live. This is good. Substack, don't mess with Substack. You all know my drill with that. Let's refresh LinkedIn. LinkedIn is moving and grooving. Yep, there we go. And here we go. We are, let's just make sure we got our stuff going here. We're going to go to our profile view. We're going to see if we're still live on. Okay, we should be live. Let's see here. Are we live on TikTok? I don't know. Let's see. We might not be live anymore. All right. So we have drop frames here. I'm just looking at this here, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Don't mind the drop frames. We're just doing what we got to do. I will not end my stream. What I will do is refresh this guy here. And I think we should still be rocking. And that's okay if we have drop frames. I don't even care. And most important thing for me is that we be live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going here. I'm going to get back to this in just a moment. I'm going to drag this guy. Oh, no, we'll go here. All right, we're going to click on our profile view. And, it does say we were live a moment ago. It said that we were live. Okay. Yes, we are still live. I'm looking at it now. Okay, so let's get back to this. So now I'm kind of like gonna go here on the shoulders. Whoops. And we're gonna just pop these things like here. See how I have the ability to do that? Yep. Yep, that's pretty good there. I like that. All right, look at that, guys. Now, we can blend some of these things together, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a moment here. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That is looking pretty daggum good there to me. We're going to go right there, just on the side here. Yep. And we will take our hands, we'll do it just like that. It's kind of knuckles here. Yep, that looks pretty good. And now we take our hands here and we'll give it end tips. Not that it matters. There we go. Okay, there we go. All righty. Okay, now we're going to take these right down the middle here. So we're going to go like this. There we go. And of course, here on the arms, we can kind of shift things around here. There we go. Yep. All right, I kind of like that. That's a kind of a zebra-esque inspired creature. There we go. All right, tips, tip here, tip here, tip here. All right, now here's the moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here, guys. These lines here, line here, that comes there. Now we're going to go here on the top here. So you see the way that's kind of like an afro, sort of. I'm going to take this here. All right, right there. Alrighty. So you see what's happening here? I'm now taking the mane, the Zebra S mane. Alright, that's not bad there, but let's make this even more kind of David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, kind of even more extreme. Yeah, look at that. Yes, that is great. There, I like that. I'm going to take just a little bit here, though. There we go. Get those ears kind of defined. Now, I think what I'm going to do here is give this guy a little bush. Why not? Yes, look at that. So instead of using a piece of cloth, these guys have pubic hair. I know, it's weird, but it'll be interesting. Alrighty. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, here's where I want to experiment. I like this shape here a bit, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go overlay here. And this one, watch what I'm going to do here, guys. I'm going to take this. Whoops. Go back here. Let's minimize this right here. This is, you can see I'm working on multiple different projects at the same time, or the same projects, but just sort of things put together here. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this. This is going to be a little weird, but work and watch with me. I'm going to go here, take this. I'm now going to do this. See? Command V. All right, so we've got it. Watch this. All right. All right, I'm taking this a little bit here. Shifting that a little bit outside of the frame. Okay, cool. All right, we got an okay there. That's pretty good. Now watch this. I'm gonna take this below here. That's pretty good. But what we want to do is take the white inherent in this shot here. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna turn off the hair parts. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go click here. Oops. Should probably pick the right layer here. Here, 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 and I think here. Okay, great. Gonna hit Command Shift I, go down one layer. Now I'm gonna fill this with white. You'll see what's gonna happen in just a moment. All right, so that's filled with white. So when I put that background on there, that's what happens. So the creature is actually submerged within the image itself, and that's pretty good. Hello, Saab, how you doing? I think that's stop. I don't know. How you doing? All right, so we got that. Okay. So now we got this. Now we're going to turn on this. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Now we're going to go back to our white here. And we're just going to put a little bit of this in here just to kind of like fill this in. And I think we'll do it just like this. Yep. See? So what I'm doing is I'm taking inspiration from this zebra and I'm making a bipedal creature. That's what I'm doing. See what's happening? But I'm using the photo to give the background a little of an interesting vibe. See? Not bad at all. Look at that. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to select this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to select that thing there. I'm going to take here, I'm going to take my lasso tool here and all the parts that's missing or that's not selected, I'm going to go here. I'm just going to select those, right? Because what I want to be able to do is paint inside this guy's body. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so we're going to create a new layer, and this time I'm just going to take a little bit of airbrush here, and I'm going to take a little bit like that. And now what we're going to do, I'm going to take a little airbrush here. It's hard. We're going to go with soft here. Let's make that point a little bit bigger. There we go. So you see what's happening? How as I'm painting here, that kind of tannish tone, off-white color becomes more prominent. Yes, that's pretty good. I like that. Yep. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, I think I'll take a little bit darker here. Yep. All right, right now that's set to normal, but what we're going to do now is go to multiply. Yes, I like that. Okay, I'm going to take my stripes here, and what we want is we want the opacity on this guy to go down just a little bit here. All right, that's pretty good. I also think the musculature on this is not as defined as I would like for it to be, right? So let me do one thing here. I'm going to duplicate this layer. There we go. See, it should be more like that. Should be more like that. But there are certain sections which should be lighter. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my airbrush here, and on the light facing sections, I'm going to erase here. See? So it's less prominent. See? All right, not bad, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, good. Now, so we've got that. I'm going to take this here. I'm going to make this a little brown. You'll see what I'm going to do here in just a moment. I just want to paint this part here because he's holding something with some kind of a spikes in it. But I think a little red here would be interesting. Yeah, a little darker red. There we go. All right, now that's a part of me that wants to add a little color in here, but for right now, I'm gonna leave it like this is. Now, here's where the moment of truth is gonna come. We're gonna take this out here. I have no idea what's about to happen. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to keep this and I'm going to go in with a few highlights. I'm going to go here. I'm going to choose white. And I'm going to go in with a little brush here. And I'll explain why I'm going to go in with a little brush in just a moment. There we go. Just to give a little definition. Not that it matters. It's just that I want to give a little bit of definition here. And I can come through this again and I can I can put overlays on this stuff here. So that's not that terrible. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to show the definition in the musculature of this creature. And you'll see what's going to happen here in just a moment once I just go through this where it is. There we go. All right, now we're going to go here and turn that to a add glow. There we go. So you see what's happening there? You see what's happening, how it's given the impression it's a zebra S. Now if I turn that off, watch what happens. Now that's pretty good, but I can now reduce that down. There we go. Pretty good. We're going to call this guy Zurun. All right, great. And that is how we're going to do this. Now, I'm going to turn off color here just because I can. It's going to be interesting what I'm about to do now, so bear with me. Oh, look at it, how when I remove the color, look what happened there. That's interesting. Now, I don't know if this is going to work here, but we're going to check and see. We're going to go here to File. And by the way, Clip Studio Paint has a time-lapse feature. As you can see here, everything is going to effectively be playing back the entire thing. See? That's pretty cool. I like that. But we want to just run this through VizCom, which is the software that I use from time to time. Okay, so let's go here to Safari. We're now going to go to, yes. Maybe? No, we will minimize that. Hold on. I have so many of these windows open, it's ridiculous. There we go. Right there. All right, VizCom. Let's see what happens here. Now, you might say, well, Tim, why are you doing this? I'm doing this because what I want to do is take my drawings and embed photoreal phenomena in my work. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm using this similar to how people use filters and plugins in Photoshop. That's okay. So this is from yesterday. Go here back to Workspace, create a new file, start here. I'm going to upload an image and hang on one second here. Did I save that? I think yes, I did save it, and we want to output a JPEG. Export JPEG. We're going to go right there, save. I'll put this here, and we're going to see what happens now. All right, check it out. Right there is the one we want. So here's our drawing right there. So what we want to be able to do is we want to apply. We're going to do this. Watch this. I hit describe. So this image is my visual prompt, right? And with that visual prompt, muscular anthropomorphic zebra warrior. See, it could actually detect what I drew here, right? Glossy black and white striped fur, rippling anatomy, holding tall spear, beaded necklace, 3/4 low angle view, strong contrast. Watch this. We're going to say midday dash day, Savannah, sunny and humid. Photorealistic, cinematic. All right, watch this, guys. Here's why I use this software. Watch what happens. All right, now they just updated this software. Right now, we're not going to be using this for the moment, but I will begin to use this in a bit. So right now, we're hitting generate. And we're going to see what this thing generates based upon my draw. Oh, something interesting is happening. Something very, very interesting is happening. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, that doesn't work. Nope, that doesn't work. Nope. Closer, much closer. All right. So let's do. And so part of what happened here is when that happened, you'll notice the description went away. So I'm going to hit it again. May have found the bug. We'll see. Anthropomorphic zebra warrior, glossy black and white striped hide, humanoid anatomy, holding a long wood spear, wooden bamboo spear, beaded waistband, three. Okay, now we're gonna change it. We're gonna say sunny, mid day, savannah. Okay, there we go. Let's hit generate. Let's see what happens this time. Because the last time, what happened, a lot of those elements went out. But I think we needed to update. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wow. Wow. Look at that. All right. I like. All of these are interesting. I think the one I like is this one. That one, we're going to add that there, right? So this is good, but I think what I've got to do is we've got to make this brighter. We got to make this brighter. We're going to say glossy black and bright white striped hide. That's very good, though. That is very, very good. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Holding a long bamboo spear, beaded wristband, 3/4 frontal view. Let's see, we've been streaming now for an hour, 27 minutes. I don't know how much longer. Normally I stream for 2 to 3 hours, but I got a lot of work I need to do tonight, which I guess I could do it on camera, but we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, so let's take this out. We're going to generate that. That's pretty good. Now we're going to regenerate this. All right, we got a call coming in here. Had a call coming in. Hang on. Let's do this again. Hello, how you doing? I'm streaming.
Oh, hi, dear. How are you?
I'm doing
I'm
good.
so
Hi.
excited.
I talked about you earlier today on streaming. Guess what? Not only
What?
did I show your astrological reading, right? I talk what kind of dope astrologist you were.
Oh, wonderful. I love that.
So what's going on?
Now
How's
that
it
you,
going?
it's going great. I'm so excited that you and I are going to get to spend a really great holiday together, Halloween.
Halloween. Girl, let me tell
Yeah,
you.
I wonder if you. I
What?
have my costume. Do you have a costume together?
Yes, I have a costume. I am going to be in the costume of playing my twin brother Jim.
Oh, fun. You guys really know how to have a good time.
Yes. Anyway, are you on your way home? I left a little bit of the food in the kitchen for you, but
Oh, no, I'm trying to find. Yeah, I can't. I think I'm not going to be able to accomplish that. She's going to have to be able to accomplish that.
yeah. Girl, I am working with Vizcom here, and because for High John Conquer, the way I have it here is I have a lot of the creatures that are indigenous to this planet are bipedal creatures from the African savanna. And what's amazing about it is that so I did detailed drawing in Clip Studio Paint, and I ran it through Vizcom, and it just did some amazing work on that. So once I composite that with everything, it'll be good. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else coming up? Because I'm gonna get ready to get back to this stuff here.
Oh, no, really?
Yes, really. What's going on, girl? Say hello to everybody.
Oh, hi, everyone.
Yep. Okay. Oh, my wife has a play at Theater for the New City in New York City opening on November 6th.
November 6th, come on down and see us.
It's called The Popes of
Apparently, people are
Farragut
getting
Street.
tickets.
Yeah, I'll talk a
People are
little bit
getting
more about it.
tickets.
Huh?
People are getting up the tickets.
People are getting up the tickets. That's what they're doing.
Getting up the tickets. You gotta get your tickets now.
Right. Okay, good. I'm glad we know that. Let me let you go. I love you.
Okay,
bye. Yeah, guys, I will take a call and stuff like that in between here. So, what do you guys think of that? That looks pretty good. I'm going to save this one too. I'm going to save this one because it's kind of interesting. But you know what I want is I want the hide to come through more pronounced. The white hide to come through more pronounced. So here's what I'm going to do. It says glossy, right? I'm going to change it to vibrant, hairy, black, and white stripes. So we're going to do this. Now we're going to see how it comes off. Because what I don't want is I don't want some comments in this live were filtered. I have comments being made that are filtered. Oh, what's going on here? Let me go to TikTok here and see access. Oh, I do have access. Okay, that's good. So they let me know I had access on TikTok. Let's go here. Alrighty, hang on. We're gonna get back to the live here in just a moment. Momante. Yes, there we go. Now I'm gonna go here and now we're gonna see if we have live here. Okay, so it says some of the filters. Okay, we're good. All right, no worries. Okay, I do not like. Oh, that's kind of interesting. That's interesting. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, something about the white that works better, I think. So we're gonna say bright white. We're gonna get rid of that there. And the reason why I want to do that is I don't want the black and gray to overpower this. I do want the white to show up pretty prominently. So what I did was I got rid of the black and we will see what happens. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, still okay, that's interesting. Wow, look at that. Interesting. Interesting. The red here is a little bit much, but that's kind of interesting. I think this is the one. We're going to add that. Okay. So we're going to call this. Let's name this. We're going to close this now. We're going to call this ZBrand 01. Now, I want to do one other thing here. What I had was sunny midday, which is pretty good, but now I want to change this because I want to be able to blend my lighting. Let me make sure I got this right here. We're going to go back to Instagram and make sure we got it. Yep, the gram is going good. LinkedIn is going good. Hello, LinkedIners. How you guys doing? Yep. LinkedIners, Facebookers, Hi, how you doing, fellas and fellettes? Substack, don't leave Substack alone. Don't bother Substack. Substack is like a child. Don't bother it. Leave it alone. All right, we're still rocking on YouTube here. I don't know if anyone is watching, but give me some feedback. What do you think? Do you think these creatures, because the idea is to do it with prominent characters from the African savannah. I think that is a unique look that's very different. As a matter of fact, they'll appear in the high jump pretty soon. But I think this is something that could work. What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think, man? Okay, let's go back here. Okay, Insta is going. And we're going to go here. We're going to move this in here so we can have our YouTube chat happening. So we got YouTube chat happening. We have Instagram going. We have TikTok going. I can bounce back and forth from Kick. Eventually, I'm going to get all this stuff Would you like, what is this? Many viewers says these people keep doing this. Nifot, I'm enjoying your stream, by the way. I don't know who these people are, but it's all good. Any rate, it is now 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I think we're good here, but I want to change this. Sunny midday. I'm going to go sunny evening, high humidity. Savannah. Whoa. Okay, I don't know where that came from. Okay, that came from there, but it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're still picking up audio there, but that's okay. We don't mind that. We don't mind that, man. All right, we're going to go here. We're going to go back to Facebook. Facebook. All right, good. All right, I like that. Now, I'm going to Savannah. Okay, and we're going to do the last thing. We're going to go photorealistic cinematic. Now, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want to get a different lighting scheme that I can use to composite with my original drawings. Again, I'm not getting rid of my original drawings. I'm compositing these things together. I'm using VizCom as a way of, oh wow, see, exactly my point. What I'm doing here is using it to give me a specific type of look. Yes, this one here is particularly cool. We're going to add that, and I kind of like the blonde edging there. I think we're good there. All right. So now we're going to go here. We're going to go to File, Export PSD. Yes, VizCom can export a layered Photoshop file. All right, let's go here. Yeah, we'll go pick that up tomorrow morning. Got to pick up some medication, baby. Alrighty, so that's not bad. I like that. I like it a lot, man. That's good. That's crazy. Alrighty, so we have this here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to get ready to composite this with this shot, even using the background. Because I like this a lot. I like that. And I think all these elements composited together should create something that might be somewhat compelling. So let's play around with that now. We're going to go here to our download folder. That's it. Photoshop. Okay, we're moving up. See, backwards in time. All right, hang on here. Oh, that's recent. We want to go to downloads. Downloads, wrong one. Hey, we're on downloads now. Zibran. We're going to drag and drop this right here in Clip Studio Paint. There we go. Not bad. Now watch this. If I composite this with just the drawing, this is what happens. If I turn this and turn that to a multiply, so that's what happens. That's hot. I like that. I like that a lot, actually, in fact. But we're going to turn these off here, and we're going to composite and play around with it a little bit here. We're going to Command C. We're now going to go to the original file here. I'm going to go in front of the background here, and I'm going to do Command V. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's there. It is there. So let's go here. What we got to do here first All right. Wait, hang on one second now. Oh, it's actually the same size. That's not bad. Look at that. I didn't know that was going to happen. Very good. Very good. All right. So check it out. So I'm going to turn this off. So we've got these layers here on. This is pretty good. But now what I want to do is I want to turn this one on. So you see that there? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to overlay. Not bad. We got this here. Okay, so there's the hair and the stripes. So we want to keep those stripes fairly prominent. Yes, look at that. See how I'm turning this off? What's happening? Wow, look at that. That is pretty damn ding dang good. Let's turn the opacity off on this. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. That is kind of interesting there. Look at that. All right, let's play around with some of the layers. We don't want to lock ourselves into anything yet. Normal. How about overlay? Overlay? Nah. Yeah. Yeah. Multiply? Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Now, so what the software is doing, the software is taking, hello, Eric Wilkerson Art. I'm here committing sins against the arts community. Apologies. But what's happening here is that the software is utilizing my drawings and it's using edge detection. That is how I'm able to get that, right? I'm able to get that because it's following the drawings, the lines of my drawings. So basically what has to happen is the concept design that I utilize has to come through strong. What I'm doing here is I'm creating bipedal humanoid based zebra warriors, kind of indirectly based on Maasai warriors, right? And so that's how I'm able to get this look, but I'm compositing it with photos. See? Now, why did I do that? I did that because the idea is that if I composite it with photos, what will happen is that any concept design that you do will always be served by familiarity. So there should be an aspect of it, aspect of your design that your audience should be able to say, oh, that's like a zebra. Oh, that's like a horse, right? It doesn't have to slavishly follow it, but it needs to be close enough. That's the objective. Now, let me do this last thing here, and I don't know if it's going to work, and we're going to see. Now, if I had the choice to choose between this one and that one, I gotta say that one. That one is hitting my spirit a little bit. But let's try this one out here too. Oh, now that looks good, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that looks better as a costume for the Black Panther. That's actually would be very cool as a costume for the Black Panther, but we're not gonna worry about that. That one's interesting, but it's too. This was one of the earlier outputs I had where it gave me a glossy output based on my drawing. I don't like that. That's too much. This one here is the one I like. I like that one. Why? It has that kind of hairy element to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through this and add some hairy highlights. So we're going to go here. We got that. We're going to go here to a little white. And I could take, you know what? Let me take this pen here. Let's see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work. I never know if it's going to work, man. Never know if it's going to work. And by the way, I would imagine my computer now is about to seriously bog down. Yep, here we go. There we go. Yep. Now what I'll do is as I'm doing this, I will tweak things so that I could erase, because we don't want everything to come out too heavy in terms of the highlights. But we want it to be enough there, right? We want the illusion of hair. Not too much, though. We don't want it too much. And I might actually go through this as well and add highlights that are more stark. It's supposed to be kind of humid in this environment here. Again, this is one of the I will actually absolutely be using this design for HighJohn Conqueror. But the idea is to be able to use this software to both augment my drawing, right? Similar to how Photoshop takes my analog drawing skills, enhances them. Now, is this ethically an issue? Sure, but cars pollute, computers that I'm drawing on now utilize child labor. So until someone comes along with a solution for this, we're going to use it, right? Similar to how I use 3D. I'm just using it as a base. I'm not going straight with this. I am using it only as a tool to enhance what it is that I already do. That's the objective. Yep. All right. Yeah, I'm liking that. Now, I think what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to pop in a little highlights on the back. So I think backlighting, one of the things it tends to do, it adds an air of hyperrealism, which I think will be very, very important. All right, not bad. Let me close some of these here. I'm going to close this because we got a lot of apps open here. I'm not going to save that. But what I will do is, of course, you guys see this here. This is all from HighJohn. That'll be going live tomorrow. The latest episode will go live. I try to go 5 to 3 to 5 days a week. That's for HighJohn. That's the plan. I will take it even farther with my other stuff here. Yep, I'm liking that. All right, let me take this over here. Yeah, I really, really like that. That is quite cool. There we go. All right, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. See how that's adding a little bit of, yeah, I think that works nicely, very nicely. Okay. And we're going to keep it because keep in mind, the thing I'm trying to do with HighJohn, I don't want it to appear to be overly dependent upon, I don't want it to be so heavily rendered where we begin to lose ourselves with this stuff. I'm not trying to do that. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot. I think that works very, very nicely. So we're going to just put a little highlight on here. And I might have to go in with a little blue, just a little blue, to highlight this a little bit. Yep, just like that. Again, the software I'm using is VizCom, which is pretty freaking powerful. And I say this is akin to like what is it? I would say what AI does when you're working on stuff. What it does, it kind of supersizes your work. That's what it does, and it allows me to do some very, 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 very cool things here. There we go. A little bit in there. All right, cool. So I like that. This highlight here. Let's put a little bit in there. Okay. That's not bad. Now we need to go in here and we need to do this here just like that. Take this here, this here. There we go. See? What's happening? There we go. There we go. Yep. Now we're going to take this around his brow like that. The bridge of his snout, I guess we would say. There we go. Now, I like that. Not that. Now we just want to take this here just a little bit and give that kind of just a highlights on his hair right up there, and we'll use another technique for the top part. Whoops. Let's erase off in here just a smidgen. There we go. So his ear is here, and then we're going to take his other ear. Be right there. All right, so this is getting a little sluggish. Let me save this. Yep. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. So we just go here just a little bit back there. Oh wow, look at that. I love that. I love that. I think that's great. Now let's take here, I want to blur this just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. We don't want to blur it too much, because if we blur it too much, we lose the stringiness of the image here. So we're going to blur that. Right now, we're going to take it back down to about a 4. That's pretty good. And we're going to make this be, let's see what happens if we hit it with an overlay. Close, but it's a little bit too subtle. What I think we're going to do now is we're going to take this to and add glow. And then we're going to reduce that down like that. Yes. There we go. Yep. Now, let's see what happens now when we try this technique. I want to go in with another layer. But this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with a little blue. Like so. And I think we shall see. And take this here. Actually, let's take this with an airbrush, but we're going to go with a hard airbrush. All right, let's see what happens now. All right, let's take this point down here. Again, the idea with this is to have some level of specularity on the light. There we go. And I might come through with this with an even higher light as things go on. Yeah, see? Yes, I like that. That's nice. Yep. And take this part here. Yep. Oh man, look at that. That's amazing, the effects you can get when you blend these things together. Look at that. Now we'll take it here. Boom. There we go. Hiya. Alrighty. There we go. Now we're just going to use this back highlight here to emphasize some of the kind of musculature here, which is actually working quite nicely. Here. There we go. And then we'll probably put a little bit of, we'll play with a blending channel on this here. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I like that. All right. Okay, there we go. Ah, I like that. See what's happening here? It's giving that backlight there. Now, one of the things I will do is I will do this. Actually, I will make that forearm have a kind of a broader light element to it. Yep. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Look at that. Like that. Alright, we're going to go here on the back part here. Go here. We're going to go here. There we go. Alright, let's get this back part here. Whoops. Yep, we got a little bogging down. I'll probably have to reboot the machine, and which is fine. I don't mind having to reboot my machine. Okay. Let's do here. Here, then we're going to go here, and this right here I'm just kind of doing this with a much more subtle line here. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty, let's just try this here. This is going to be a little weird. Alright, I kind of like that. Alright, let me just take this here. All right, now this is where I'm adding a little of the scritchy scratchiness there because I do want it to come off like it's hair, but I want to be careful with that. I don't want to, I don't want to overdo it. But and like I said, I can always bump the hue on this down. Okay, not terrible. All right. Whoops. do this here. We're going to reset our display. Not terrible at all. Now here's where it's going to be a little interesting. I'm probably going to duplicate this, and I'm going to move that to a glow. Yeah, it's a little bit too harsh. Let's go with a color dodge. As a matter of fact, let's turn that off. Oh, that's interesting, but no. I think that works best as is. Not terrible. Not terrible. Okay, I want to do one other thing here, and then we will call this thing here largely done. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to do a little bit of, so we want airbrush here. We want a thicker point, but we're going to go with soft here. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, let's bump that down just a smidgen. There we go. All right, final thing will be here. I want to add in a little highlights from the savannah itself. Let's go here. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're good here with a little bit of it. All right, now I'm going to blur this a little bit by motion blur, and we want this to be, see what our angle is here. All right, that's not bad. Now I'm going to turn that to a glow. I'm going to bump that down quite a bit. Bump that down quite a bit. There we go. Yep. Final thing, I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I might move that down below my mask here. Yes, there we go. Now we can bump that up a little bit. Yep. I set the glow, we'll just go to add. Yes. And now we'll turn that up a bit. Oh, no. We need to go back to get a little glow there. Glow dodge. There we go. All right. I'm liking that. I think that is pretty good. I think I will call this as a character that will be in High John Conqueror. I think that will be unique. I just got to figure out, probably, I'm thinking this mane actually goes down his back. That's pretty good, though. I like it. Let's put this out here. I'm going to export our time lapse. And we will export it as a minute. 60 seconds. Because 60 seconds is the best, baby. All right, we're going to export that, and we're going to get ready to shut this down for the night. 01 anim. A-N-I-M. Yep. All righty. This is all part of the efforts that I am making to utilize this advanced technology to help me to tell those stories that I could not do the old way, because it would kill me and have me in the hospital again, and I'm not trying to do that. Thank you so much for chiming in. TikTok, it's been a pleasure to see you guys. I know a lot of people popped in and then they left out. That's okay. We don't mind that. Instagram, how you guys doing? Pleasure to see you as well. Kick. Thank you so much, Kick. Twitch. Thank you so much, Twitch. Twitch been going now. I've been streaming now for about 5 months, going on 5 months. Started in July. What's it in? July, August, September, October, going on 5 months, 4 months for sure, because I'm now about to go into November in another day and a half. This has been an absolute joy and pleasure, one of the highlights of my career doing this type of work, because I feel like for the first time the technology has caught up to the feelings I have about the images in my head. And that's really, really beautiful, quite beautiful. I think Jordan Taylor and the folks out at Vizcom have created an incredibly powerful piece of software. But that's where we are. Anyway, guys, take care. Stay out of trouble. Do what you got to do. Be kind and joyful to one another. Make frequent deposits into the Love Bank, because the Love Bank is all we have. Thank you guys so much. Take care. See ya tomorrow on Friday. Tomorrow might either be an abbreviated stream, or I might not be able to stream because apparently I've been voluntold, not volunteered, voluntold to participate in some Halloween stuff tomorrow, even though I don't have young children anymore. But hey, that's what we got to do. Anyway, take care, guys. Much love. Stay out of trouble. Peace.